It's in the news today that Representative Jayapal, she's part of the squad. She's asking for a private security detail, taxpayer funded. She did have a security threat outside of her house. That sounds legit. The guy got arrested. He was with a gun. He was saying threatening things. So I hear that. But this is the same person who's been in favor of, quote, diverting money away from the police. That said, law enforcement as a whole has a culture of brutality, which cannot be denied. And she and AOC were among the 27 House Democrats to reject enhanced security measures for Supreme Court justices after all the protests at their homes and so on. So she has no problem telling Brett Kavanaugh he can't get increased security. But when she has a guy outside of her house, who does she want? She wants cops, and she wants you to pay for the cops, and she wants me to pay for the cops. But she doesn't want women in the inner city who have a guy outside of their houses with a gun to have the same right.
Yep, and I think this is the most shocking development, I think, in probably the history of our country. I honestly believe that there is one side of our politics in this country that actually believes that political violence has become okay and it has become justified. We saw it all through 2020. There's like 2 chapters in my book dedicated to this, where rioting, violence, vandalism, destruction of public and private property, bashing windows of small businesses in, and that's supposed to be totally okay. Because why? Because one side said, we're upset about the way things are going, and probably you remember this was just another example. In 2020, the boarded up storefronts and businesses had started to kind of come down. But as we're leading up to the election day, there was this idea that Trump really could possibly win. He might likely win even, despite everything that was going on. All those boards in every single Democrat city, I live in Washington, D.C., so I saw it here. Those boards went right back up, probably twofold. It was even worse because why? It wasn't because there was an anticipation of a Biden victory. It's not that Trump supporters were going to take to the streets. I mean, we saw January 6th, obviously, but they weren't going to take to the streets and then start blowing things up. Those storefronts and businesses, small businesses, were boarded up because they thought there was a possibility of a Trump victory. And we have seen now how the left, how liberals and Democrats, how they react when they don't get their way. We're seeing it right now with sitting Supreme Court justice was chased out of a restaurant, threatened to be assassinated. Why? Because some decisions came out of the court that the left didn't like. So this, again, I think is the most shocking development that we have seen in this country, where the left, one side only, honestly, truly believes that a certain type of political violence, when it comes from their side, it's totally justified.
And it is interesting to see when the shoe's on the other foot. So AOC, we talked about this on Friday, was irritated by a heckler who went up on Capitol Hill and said she was a big-bootied Latina and made some other questionable comments about her.
That's how I describe myself. I don't see what the problem is.
And proud of it.
It's okay.
So she was irritated. Okay, fine. It's not the nicest behavior I've ever seen. But the thing that got my attention was she was mad at the Capitol Hill police for not doing something to this guy. And it turns out, and she posted about it, like, man, it's sad that women have to live like this. Hold on, I'm trying to find the normalization of this event, and this dismissiveness is dangerous. She went on to say, this is not a place that is designed to protect women. And added in, or LGBT people. And I fear for all the journalists here too, and blah, blah, blah. And the Capitol Hill police, who we now know were called 5 times by her staff about this guy. All he was saying was, hey, you're my favorite big-bootied Latina, you like abortion, but you don't like me, whatever. He's a heckler. The Capitol Hill police had to release a statement that reads as follows. The comments, although inappropriate, are not criminal. In the video, the man never threatened or touched the Congresswoman. Out of an abundance of caution, our officer stopped the man and ran his information, which did not show any warrants. So she wants the cops to be all over this guy, but she doesn't want the cops to be there, again, in the inner city, etc. And I saw your tweet, which reads as follows. Let the homeless turn public spaces into needle parks. Let the delinquent youth jump the turnstiles. Let BLM seize and shut down a major street. Call little Jenny from the block thick? Where are the police? When it comes to her, we need all men on deck.
Right. And I think, again, that the left, including AOC, including the Ilhan Omars, the most ungrateful refugee in the history of this country, the idea that harassment is okay if we say it's okay. If it's targeting the people we don't like, a sitting Supreme Court justice, chase him out of a restaurant, make him and his family feel completely unsafe, which they are. We'll say nothing about that. In fact, we'll be in some ways even approving of it. We saw, I think it was during the Kyle Rittenhouse trial when the verdict was coming. I don't know if it was Maxine Waters or who it was. It was like, yeah, like we need to see more taking to the streets. We need to see more intimidation. They truly, honestly believe that is okay when it comes from their side. But again, why is that? Liberals and Democratic voters just tend to profess a greater anger about things. It's very easy to set them off. And again, when it came to my book, when I really started thinking about this was because of personal interactions. I bet maybe not everyone, but a lot of your viewers and a lot of your listeners are going to say, I've gone to a party before. The person who when politics came up, when it became contentious, it was the liberal who really showed up thinking that, one, what they have to say matters. Two, everyone should agree with it. And if they don't, I'm going to make you really, really uncomfortable for the rest of the night. I ran into that so many times through 2020. And just to find that there's all this data, all these surveys, all these studies backing up that idea, that feeling I had, that why is every person, Democrat, liberal that I run into, and I run into many in Washington, D.C., why are they so angry all the time?
Are you tired of feeling like someone's always watching you on the internet? Maybe advertisers know a little bit too much about you? Or you're concerned about the privacy of your identity? Using incognito mode will not solve the problem either. IPVanish VPN is here to protect your right to privacy and to help you stay anonymous online. IPVanish helps you safely browse the internet without exposing your private details to third parties. You can use IPVanish on your computer, your tablet, your phone, even devices like your Fire Stick when you're streaming media. When you use IPVanish, all of your data is encrypted. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online, and that's what you want to be. It's that simple. Right now, IPVanish is offering an incredible 70% off their yearly plan for our listeners, along with a 30-day money-back guarantee. That is like getting 9 months for free. IPVanish, super easy to use. All you have to do is tap one button. You are instantly protected. Take your privacy back today with the brand rated 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. Go to ipvanish.com/Megyn and use that promo code Megyn to claim your 70% savings. That's ipvanish.com/MEGYN. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.